And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcoming everybody to an NFC Championship edition of the Football Smack Talk Show. Here we are. Eric, I know we had high hopes for this season, but let's
they
be
weren't
honest.
this high.
I don't know if they were this high. I think that we were hopeful that they could be this high, but man, the Eagles have certainly exceeded expectation. But that still does not mean that everybody is happy. Of course not. You know, every time that we have a game where we run the ball, we wonder where the passing game is, and when we pass the ball, we wonder where the running game is.
Of course. Yeah.
So the Philadelphia fan, never happy. The national media jumps all over it. And now the big thing is, can the Eagles win the way that they're playing, where they're mostly running the ball down people's throats? They're having a great defensive presence, and they're holding defenses, and they're they're winning. They're surviving. A lot of national pundits don't think that it's possible, although they clearly forget how football used to be played when all you did was run the ball. But I digress. Eric, what makes what say you in all of this national buzz of hatred towards the Eagles right now?
Well, look, if there was ever a team that embodied one of my favorite sayings, I know you've heard me say it 1,000 times, more games are lost than won. And, the Eagles are bound and determined they're not going to lose the game for themselves. They're not going to turn the ball over. In fact, if you look at it, if there's ever a case to be made for me being right about something, man, this is
which never happens, by the way.
I know, right? So I have to take this opportunity. You know what? One thing these Final Four teams all have in common: not one of them have committed a turnover.
I was just about to say that. Not one of them have committed a turnover. They're playing smart football,
right? But the Eagles are the only ones called out and somehow criticized for just being smart.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. I think again, it's what I've gathered from all these national people, and you always see the same names, right? You see the Chris Sims of the world. You see.
For some reason, he just don't like us.
Well, and that's the thing. Alex Smith recently came up and said some pretty stupid things. Chris Sims, by the way, said, if it wasn't for the two Saquon Barkley runs and the Jalen Hurts run and the strip sack and the interception and five or six plays, the Rams won the majority of the other plays.
Okay, but bro,
I'm sorry.
That's football. And that's the NFL, man. They're all close.
Chris Sims, while not a great quarterback whatsoever, still playing in the NFL. How is he this freaking stupid to not understand
why he wasn't very successful in the NFL?
Obviously, but I think what it reaffirms for me is that 90% of the people that are in national shows, podcasts, whatever,
right,
they don't know how to differentiate between an earlier take and just admitting, hey, I was wrong. They're blah, blah, blah. They don't ever want to be seen as being incorrect. So they will double down and triple down and quadruple down on the same take. Well, I didn't believe in the Eagles earlier, so I can't start now. So I need to continue this, thought process of, hey, I'm going to find a way to make the Eagles sound like a bad team. Because that's the only thing that can make possible sense, that these guys can't be this freaking stupid.
And it's actually ridiculous and borderline disrespectful. Like some of
Oh,
these
1,000%.
comments. Like, I mean, aside from 4 or 5 plays, bro, this is the NFL and the playoffs. Yes, 4 or 5 plays decide the football game. You know how many times talking with my dad, we would talk about an Eagles game, and we'd be like, "Oh man, we have 4 or 5 plays. If one of them go our way, we win the game."
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
that's just football.
That
That's
is
just how it
football.
goes. Like,
Yeah. Q checking in. What up, bud? I prefer the Nick Foles approach to NFC championship games. Um,
you mean winning them?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was about to say. I was just going to say, maybe. Well, I don't really have room on my desk, but maybe a little bit of slapping something down on the table. Yeah. Q, this is at 13 million for a running back. Hell no. Nah. Hey, wait a minute. We never said that.
I'm sure I said something like that.
We probably said, man, that's a lot. But we were mad excited about Barkley.
Oh, sure.
Mad excited.
But look, if you have proof that I said something like that, I'll be the first to stand on here and say I was wrong.
Exactly.
And I'm happy
and
that I was
that's
wrong.
the whole point. Listen, we obviously don't get paid quite a bit
At all.
Well, yes, you don't. I get paid enough to fill my gas tank every 3 months, but
there you go.
There you go. So, that being said, we're not getting paid millions of dollars, and we'll easily admit that we were wrong. That's the thing. I had called somebody out last night on the Birds of the Round Table. The previous week, they were, there was a lot of talk about how Matthew Stafford was going to carve us up, and how Matthew Stafford this and Matthew Stafford that. And listen, I don't think Matthew Stafford had that great of a game, versus the Eagles.
He looked bad.
I mean, what did he end up with? Again, mostly because they were down and trying to come back. He did end up throwing for over 300 yards, and I'll give him that. But he was 26 for 44. Bro, you threw the ball 44 times. Of course you're going to get over 300 yards. I just think, people love to find the reason why they're going to use later as to oh, well, yeah, obviously I told you. I told you that's why we were going to lose.
Right.
And people would rather be right about being negative than being wrong about being positive. That's for sure.
Well, yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I
don't mean to call this person out. Honestly, he's one of the better. There's probably about 5 to 10 commenters on Eagles PullNetwork that do a great job, that absolutely make a lot of our shows. Q being one of them. And it's not that. It's simply, again, of just kind of using the example of hey, all you had to do was be yeah, you know what? You're right. You didn't have that great of a game. And he threw the ball a million times because they were down the whole game.
Sure.
And yeah, it did get a little dicey there at the end, but our defense stepped up, and I even said it. Everybody around us, we all, in the crowd, everybody got quiet. I said, listen, I have faith in this defense. They have carried us the entire year.
Yeah.
When we needed them, they have made plays. And sure enough, they made the plays. They turned the ball over on downs. We got out of there with a victory. Who cares how? Who cares by how much? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you felt that very heavy breeze at the end there after that fourth down play. That was, I think, the entire Delaware Valley exhaling.
Well, it's funny. You go from, probably one of the loudest it felt, that Saquon run, to shortly thereafter, where they drive down and score the touchdown. and then just took the wind out of everybody's sail. And then,
Yeah.
again, we took some time off a little bit, and then they got the ball back and they started moving it again. And it was, it was very quiet. Very
And can we
quiet.
talk about that game-saving sack that Jalen Carter had? I
Absolutely.
mean,
Can we talk about Jalen
if he doesn't
Carter?
make that play, Tyler Higbee's running wide open and probably scores the game-winning touchdown.
Listen, Jalen Carter basically showed up to the world on Sunday and said, "Oh, you didn't know about me? Now you do. This is my position. This is my position."
Man arrived on Sunday. That was his coming out party.
Dude, he was dominant. And it was such a beautiful thing to see. Saquon runs for over 200 yards. Jalen Carter, the strips, the strip sack, the other sack, to seal the game essentially. He was just a monster, and he was being double teamed quite a bit. He actually finally got a holding call, which was
it was amazing.
One of his first. Thank God they're going to actually call holding against him. And then, listen, I thought Isaiah Rodgers filling in for Q. I thought Oren Burks filling in for Nakobe Dean. I thought that both of them played a very good game in their respective roles.
Both of them, I would call their performances gutsy. Like they played gutsy football.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it was just a fun day, a long day for sure.
Yes.
We were down there waiting in line.
We got another long one coming up this Sunday.
No, but hey, at least it won't be like in the teens. It won't be snowing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing cloudy and low 40s. I'm good.
I'm good with that. I can roll with cloudy and low 40s.
Yeah, even if it's a little windy, we have the tents.
If the sun wants to peek out, I wouldn't object.
I wouldn't object to it either, but it'll be a lot better, Sunday than it was this past Sunday. And listen, we get a modicum of revenge over the Commanders, who the last time we played them did beat us.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna just say this right now.
Go ahead. Sorry.
If Washington hadn't cheap shotted our quarterback and taken him out, Jalen was rolling. We were gonna boat race that team.
I think Saquon had over 100 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Hurts went out, that's kind of when the run game kind of stopped a bit.
Well, right, because they just queued up to stop the run and just said, okay, Kenny Pickett can beat us, then congratulations. And look, Kenny played tough, but
Kenny played great, I thought. The fact of the matter is
too.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, the fact of the matter is that Washington had to beat us with 6 seconds left after 5 turnovers by the Eagles.
Yeah.
And after our number one quarterback was out for 90% of the game.
Yeah.
It clearly affects how we run our offense. Clearly, if you didn't know before that game, you knew that game. And hats off to that whole team for surviving. And listen, we just said it. One play goes a different way, and the Eagles sneak out of there with a victory.
Sure.
So,
but it didn't, and that's football. And that's fine.
And I get it. Jaden Daniels is playing good right now. Mm-hmm. He's beaten some good teams in a row here. They're hot right now. But they got to come to Philly.
Hey, Ryan, quick question for you. Do you remember the last rookie quarterback to start in the Super Bowl?
Oh, wait. Let me think about that. Oh, wait. It was no one.
Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody. And
listen. Make sure that trend continues.
Yeah, absolutely. I love a good trend. And
especially when it favors us.
Absolutely. Listen. So as long as our players stay healthy,
Sure.
I still think that this is a double-digit victory over the Commanders. I
Agreed.
do not think that they do anything necessarily that is better than what we do. We are better at all
Completely
three
agree with you.
phases
Yeah.
on defense, in my opinion. We have a much better offensive line. We have a better run game.
Sad to see it, but their best offensive guard, the guy who would have been responsible for blocking Jalen Carter, tore his ACL in the last game. Look, I'm sorry to see it for him,
That
but
sucks. Oh, absolutely.
Jalen Carter's got to be licking his chops.
Sam Cosmi was a good guard.
Yeah.
But what's the guy's name? Trent something?
Yeah.
Trent Naga
Not gonna
have a job after Sunday. This dude has only started about 8 or 9 games in his 7-year career.
Okay.
Bounced around, from San Diego to Carolina, Washington, maybe one or two other places. So, are we better at passing? Yeah, I think so. Honestly,
Yes.
when we want to, they have one guy that they can go to. Let's be honest. And I don't know if our rookie corner is healthy. He held him to what, 70 yards?
Yeah.
In 2 games. I don't know about you, but
I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, sure. Zach Ertz will probably get a couple of passes as he decided to drink from the fountain of youth apparently. But I'm sure
he tried running after the catch a couple times.
Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't even know he was allowed to do that.
I didn't even think he knew how to fucking do that, right? Hold on.
Yeah. Look, it's a big week. It's a big game. It's a big matchup. There's a reason why these teams all belong in these games. And Washington, they belong in this spot.
Yeah, listen, they beat a tough Bucs team. They beat a great Lions team who, listen, Jared Goff just didn't have a good game. And you combine that with the fact that Jaden Daniels.
I think that was a result of him feeling the pressure of the defense being so riddled with injuries and knowing he had to score on every possession for the Lions.
That's not how this game is going to go. It's not going to be a shootout. I mean, honestly, the last time, that Philly gave up, over 25 points was probably week 4, honestly, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that sounds bad. Well, when we lost to Tampa week 4.
Or that time when we lost to the Commanders.
Okay.
Whoops, forgot about that one. We were missing some people on defense too, weren't we? Thought we were.
Look, yeah. The thing is, people get injured. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. I mean, look, it's gonna be a tough matchup on Sunday. It's the NFC Championship game. It's supposed to be hard. Jaden Daniels is playing lights out football, but you know what? I like what our defense can do. I like that. One of the things I was watching NFL Live today. One of the things they talked about was how Washington likes to slide their protections. So they'll see, they're overloaded defensively to this one side. Cool, let's slide everybody to that side. And I started thinking, I'm like, well, wait, how hard would that be to confuse them? Let's overload one side, have one isolated linebacker to the other side, and he blitzes from the weak side. And all of a sudden, if I can see that, I gotta imagine Vic Fangio, who he's pretty good at calling defenses. I imagine he could figure that out.
Yeah, probably. They should try to get AJ and Spinney more involved. Listen, I think,
and I'm sure they will.
you're right, and I think listen, the first game, wasn't the greatest game plan. They kind of just were riding Saquon and they didn't really need to kind of adjust. Last week or this past week, it was a snow game. You really weren't wanting to, drop back and throw it 44 times. Rams. You wanted to rely on the run game. That's what you do in snow games. So I think we're going to see a little bit more balance when it comes to the game plan between the run and the pass. Considering the conditions are going to be much more favorable to throwing the ball.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. I think they will try to be more balanced. But look, if you're out there running the ball 8-9 yards a clip, man, just stick with it. Make them stop you.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, we used to have people outside of the NovaCare complex with signs that said, "Run the damn ball."
Yes, I remember.
And how many times did we say that with Andy Reid, who never ran the ball? Run the damn ball, Andy. And what do? We go out and get the best running back imaginable.
And now it's we're running the ball too much. We can't throw the ball at all. Why would we throw the ball?
We put him behind the best offensive line imaginable. And the mother effer almost breaks the record and would have had it not for the fact that we were already locked up the number 2 seed. And yet still we get complaints about passing the ball. Let's be honest. In 10 years from now, if we win the Super Bowl and we go back and we're talking, oh yeah, remember the Super Bowl run? Yeah, blah, blah. Do you think people are going to be like, well, I don't know. Still think they should have passed the ball a little more, No. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to even remember unless Saquon gets the MVP here. But you know what I mean? Again, why does it matter so much to so many people now that we're leaning on one that we need to do the other? And I get it. We have talent everywhere. And that's a great thing to have. But I think what the best thing about this team is we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
The game where AJ, AJ was complaining. What happened the next game? Oh, I don't know. They just threw the ball forever, and AJ Brown went absolutely off. And they're like, oh, and what happened? Hurts came up to the podium and is that what you guys wanted? They can do whatever they want, honestly.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I basically at the end of the previous game before that game, I remember saying you watch us. The table's already set that Jalen's gonna go off, and AJ Brown's gonna have a day, and then they're just gonna be like, oh, see, was that good enough? Was that what you guys were looking for?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like. I love our fan base. We are 1,000% just the best people. And if you are in the community, and I mean the community at the tailgates or you're at events and some of the players, again, I know that I'm certainly a small time player, but I'm very familiar with whether it be some of the 4th and John guys or the Philly sports guy or whomever, or Santa even, but again, I love our atmosphere. We were tailgating right next to the dudes that brought out the bench.
Larry was over there setting the bench record.
Well, I didn't set the record, but
well,
listen.
10 years from now, we'll be saying Larry. Larry will be saying.
Allen actually set the record for the day at 53. Larry came in at a very respectable 46. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's actually really awesome.
A professional football player. Now, granted, it's
Larry was a college player, but yeah.
There's no warm up. Well, that's also true. There's no warm up. You just bang them and out. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I like stuff like that. I just absolutely love how into it everybody gets, and how much of a community it gets, and how like I have never ever had a bad experience with an Eagles fan in a tailgate situation or a community
Yeah.
situation where you're like, uh, every time that we're next to other people, hey, dude, hey, whatever we got, you guys come, like whatever, share it
Right,
up.
right. We're a big family. Yeah.
Exactly, and that I think is why I love this fan base. But sometimes y'all just expect too much, or you have it in your head that you want it a certain way, and that's okay, and I get that. But like, isn't the most important thing winning? The main thing is winning, right?
You
And we're
keep the
winning.
main thing the main thing.
Right, that main thing is winning.
Yeah. And I mean, look, anybody who's watched this show over the last couple of years, you've heard me say this before. I'm going to say it again. Guys, winning is really, really hard. Like, it is really hard to win. Like, talk to any of these players on a Monday, man. They are gassed from that game on Sunday. They are completely gassed. It is exhausting. It takes every bit of them. And man, and this city is great, but like all we ask is all you got, man. Like, and if you give us all you got, we'll give it right back to you with all we got. And I think that's a beautiful part about this fan base. And I love that this fan base gets that into it where like we're talking about, oh, the passing game wasn't up to snuff. I get it. We all want to be experts. We're not all experts. I certainly am not an expert. I've watched my fair share of football.
You suck.
Thanks,
Anyway, real quick, Johnny Taylor checks in from YouTube. Ayo! 860 Chris just dropped a Fire Eagles diss track. Get hyped for Championship Sunday. All right.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. Thanks for
maybe we'll throw that on the mix for Sunday.
There you go. I just feel like they should balance it out, especially for Super Bowl game planning. Okay.
Let's get there first.
Yeah, one, let's get there first. Two, again, the Bills have a horrid rush defense. So if they win it, I would want them to run the ball even more.
Pound the rock. Maybe Saquon Barkley will be your Super Bowl MVP.
What up, guys? Q welcoming in. I brought some Natty Light. Oh, shit.
Let's go. Party with some bad beer.
It's gonna get ugly real quick. The last time I had Natty Light, I think Kofin and I split a case. Yeah, I don't really remember much of the night. So
I feel like the last time I had Natty Light was when you and I hosted the worst beer competition, the 64 beer competition.
Oh my God!
I think that was the last time I had Natty Light.
Oh my God! How did I forget about the worst beer competition?
Which I really think we ought to do something like that again. We got to simulate that. So, like, we got to
wow!
Maybe not worst beer. How about best beers? But
right, yeah. That was something else. Well, listen, we got a lot planned over the summer.
Yes, we do. Hey, why not plan a few more things?
Why don't I plan a few more things? I mean, we do have the Beer Olympics. That Dives has to come and
absolutely
defend his gold medal.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
the Olympics every 4 years, but
no, I wanted to do one in the wintertime for Winter Olympics.
Just please, nothing in this weather. Don't make me leave the house in this weather.
Believe me, I get it. It sounds like another competition I need to win. Listen, okay, well, and maybe we could do some competitions leading up to the Beer Olympics, like having tournaments of
nationals,
like nationals of individual events.
Okay, we can get it. I can get on board with this.
Yeah, this is why you're in the Olympic Committee, Eric.
To bring forth these ideas. I got you.
There you go. Lord knows I don't beat Ryan on anything else. And listen, I will say I finally took an L on a mock draft. It had been 86 years since I lost. But I'll take the L. He beat me fair and square. I will never draft Jackson Dart again, apparently. So
Okay.
there you go. That's it. What time is it? Yeah, we should probably
Yeah, it's quarter after.
we should probably get out of here soon enough.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say, don't you have to leave? Yeah.
I do. Sadly, I don't have time for anything anymore. But well, listen, folks.
Well, I sit here and make all these plans for all our summer adventures.
I know.
I'm to eat some dinner tonight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I got to figure out when to eat dinner.
Yeah.
It'll probably be after 9:00. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Don't forget to follow the Eagles Pin Pull Network if you already are not doing so. We've been having some issues with our Facebook and not really sure what the hell's going on. One of these days we're gonna get that figured out. But if you have not, make sure that you get over to Facebook. Give us a follow on there. On X, you can follow us right here at Philly Sports PSA. And also, you can follow Eagles Pin Pull Network on X as well at Eagles Pin Pull. And then, of course, most of you are already on the YouTube. We appreciate that as well. So make sure that you are sharing, letting the people know. We're trying to build this thing up as big as possible. We have a plethora of amazing shows. Our good buddy Shane and Johnny just released on the Shane page, so please make sure you're checking that out. We have an Eye on the Enemy with John Stolness coming up. And then, of course, don't forget all the other shows. We just did Birds of the Round Table. There is a fresh Chalk Talk. I think this past week, I think there was. And then, of course, any other show that we are pumping out. We do appreciate it. Make sure you're getting them on Spotify, Apple, wherever you go for your podcast. Other than that, please make sure to check out one of my other shows with Dives, who's in the chat, Party on Broad. That's generally on Mondays, but we're actually doing it on Thursday, tomorrow. So check that out. New time, just because Monday wasn't really going to be working with the national championship game. So we decided to push it to Thursday. So check that out. And then generally, Dives and I will do some college stuff over the weekend on the Party on Broad account. And then, of course, Eric will do his wrestling show.
Yeah, the Turning Heel podcast.
Turning Heel podcast on Tuesdays now. So check that out on Facebook. Check out the Turning Heel podcast page on Facebook. Other than that, if you're going to be down at the game, please make sure you stop by we're usually M3, M5.
M5, M6. Yeah,
somewhere. Usually M3, M5. But I'll usually post.
Check out the flag with our dumb faces on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll see this logo here. That's usually flying around, and then the old Philly Sports Alliance logos on there as well. So, but anyway, I usually post on X right here on Philly Sports PSA our location. Stop by, grab a beer. Play some games.
Beer's on me, apparently.
Beer is always on Eric, as always. Q chiming in. Go Eagles, play McKee, win the ball.
You say a prayer right now, Q, for the health of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, anyway, that's it for us. We will see you guys next week.
Talk Super Bowl.
Hopefully, we'll be talking some good news Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys down there at the tailgate. Eric, anything to add before we pop on out of here?
Nah.
All right. Gotta love it.
You want to give a final score?
Oh, yeah. Why don't we do that? 34-21. Birds.
I will go 30-10 Birds.
Oh.
Yep. I
I
think by the fourth quarter, we'll just be celebrating.
absolutely love it. All right, folks. Well, that's it for us. Have yourselves a great rest of the week and your weekend. Appreciate everybody chiming in. I will not put that on the up on the screen there. Q, you bite your tongue. Although it is very much like Q to reverse psychology. This bitch. So anyway, that's it for us. I already asked you if there's anything to add, right?
Still no. Yeah.
Still no. Okay. All right. So for the Football Smack Talk show on the Eagles Pinball Network, I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Go Birds!
Go Birds!